Good morning. I wanted to take a couple of minutes to go over firing up your locomotive. This is a Berlyn Locomotive Works K37. It is to the scale of FN3 or 1 to 20.3. It's an all brass locomotive, and I just recently finished installing a Zimo decoder, 699 series Zimo decoder into the locomotive. I'll open up his little shade there so he doesn't get too much sun. So this has several different functions for sounds and lights and things like this. The first thing we want to do is take a look at adding a little bit of extra smoke fluid. So to do that, you simply just remove the spark arrestor. Just pulls off. Take a little bit of a pipette similar to this. Fill it up with a little bit, you know, 0.5 or something like that, fluid ounces of smoke fluid. And there's a little pipe inside the smokestack that you want to put the fluid down into that little pipe. That little pipe is simply the exhaust, or is actually the goes directly to the smoke fluid. Now, to start with, let's go ahead and turn on your sound. To turn on the sound, I use the function key 8 or F8, and that starts up the sound of the boiling on the locomotive. It also starts up the pan spark and the firebox spark lights. Those come on automatically again with the sound. Now, to turn on your lights, you have a couple of different lighting functions that I've set up with this locomotive. You have F0, and that turns on all your main lights, external lights. That turns on the number board lights, the headlights, and the marker lights. It also turns on, you hear the dynamo power up. Once the dynamo is powered up and all that stuff, you have a little bit more sound. And then to turn on the cab lights, and right now I have the doghouse light tied to the interior cab lights. You press F5 to turn on the cab lights. Now, there is no extra sound for that. They just come on. And they stay on, actually. Now that again turns on the doghouse light as well as the cab lights. Now, F1 is your bell. Now, on all modern variations of this particular locomotive, they use a powered bell versus a swing bell. F2 is one of the whistles. F3 is another whistle. And F4 is a blower. We want to get that fire hot to start building up pressure, right? That's what that's supposed to be doing, is adding air to your fire. F6 turns on the smoke generator. Now, it might take it a second or two to heat up. It really likes the higher voltages on your track. You know, if I'm running, this one's a little low right now, but I like to run my voltages around 20, maybe even a little higher than that on my track. So let's see if the smoke is starting to come out yet. When you get the blower, when you have the smoke turned on, the blower or F4 will push out more smoke. May not be able to see it all that particularly well in this light yet, or it hasn't fully heated up yet. And then F7 is for draining the cylinder valves. That actually automatically plays if it's been sitting for a while too. F8, of course, turns on the sound. F9 is kind of the squeaking of wheels and stuff around the curb. F10 is the air compressor. And that's the proper air compressor for the locomotive. It is a Westinghouse air compressor. The air compressor also automatically plays when you come to a stop after a period of time. That is that's a injector. That's a F11. Oops. F12 is coal shoveling. F13 is the coupler. That's also another kind of injector, if you will, putting more water into the boiler. And F15 and 16 are volume controls. F17 is mute. And then I think I have F18 or not. At any rate, I will show what those are later, or that'll be written down. So first I'm going to back up the locomotive here. And you might be able to see the smoke now. Now, so that's the basics of your locomotive. I can show you or splice in another video that shows the smoke better. It is, the chuff is timed virtually on it using the decoder. And I've counted those chuff sequences, so it's 4 chuffs per rotation of a wheel. The cam sensor is hooked up. It just doesn't work as reliably, and it causes weird sound effects to happen with the chuff. So this was a fun locomotive to work on. It weighs quite a bit, and it's my understanding from reading information about them and everything, there's only about 100 of these in existence.